Secret number one, how to stop paying for traffic from tire kickers and focus on real buyers. So most business owners think the only way to get more traffic is to spend more money on your ads. And that's true. If you spend more money on your ads, you will get more traffic. But actually, you can get more quality customers and quality traffic to click on your ads without spending more money than you already are, and by spending less than your competitors. And what do I mean? Well, AdWords has a lot more to do with the traffic you don't pay for than it has to do with the traffic you do pay for. This was a search that I did for dental offices hiring in Chicago, Illinois. So let me change my pointer here. You can see 4 ads on this page. The top ad is for a dentist office that wants people to schedule an appointment with them. The second ad is actually an ad for a dental office that is hiring. And then the other 2 ads are also for dental offices that want people to schedule appointments for them. If I'm searching for dental offices that are hiring, because I'm about to graduate from dental hygienist school, I should not be seeing ads that encourage me to schedule a dentist appointment. Okay, this is a very easy fix. I know a lot of you on this webinar are experienced with AdWords, and you already know some of this, but I promise you I'm going to get into some stuff that is going to make you think about things differently, and some stuff you've probably never heard also. I want to make sure everyone's on the same page with this, so I'm starting with this example. So if I'm searching dental offices hiring in Chicago, Illinois, if you are a dental office, you should be using what is called a negative keyword. A negative keyword tells Google that if someone's search includes a certain word, you do not want your ad to show. So in this case, I would want to add hiring as a negative keyword. Okay. Now, some negative keywords are very obvious, like hiring. Okay. Almost any company should be using hiring as a negative keyword. Some other negative keywords to consider are just things that people search for that don't really, they're thinking of something, how to do something, just looking for general information on something, but they're not really ready to buy or hire somebody. So I want to go through a couple of these. Does someone have an example of a business? What type of business you are in? And I can use that in the example here. And I'm going to take a quick drink, and hopefully someone can give me an example to work with. Okay, Todd says plumbing business. So for a plumbing business, if someone is searching something like how to fix a leaky pipe, that is not a good search to target for a plumber. You may think it is, but someone who's looking for information on how to fix something themselves is not likely to actually hire someone to do it for them. Okay. Let's find another example. So Stacy says carpet cleaning. So something like where to buy carpet cleaners. Again, that's someone who wants to clean their carpets themselves. For the most part, if you are a service business, you don't want to target keywords that include where to buy. Okay, that's people looking to buy things and do it for themselves. Okay, cheapest, unless you actually are the cheapest business, which obviously only one business in town can be the cheapest at anything, you do not want to target people searching for cheapest. That is just a race to the bottom. If someone's looking for the cheapest service somewhere, they are going to be price shopping for a while. They might click on your ad just to try to figure out what you cost, but the chance of them hiring you is very low. Same with how much. That's someone who is searching for just searching for a price. They're looking for a deal on something. So these are the kinds of keywords that you want to add as negative keywords. And there's ways to find a lot more of these. I'll send you, as long as you're registered for this webinar. I know since I'm on Facebook, some of you might not have registered. Make sure you go to webinar.adleg.com and register. And I'll send you some more information about how to find negative keywords later on. Okay, some other things to be aware of when filtering out traffic you don't want. This is a search that I did for San Francisco fitness centers. And you can see this ad here is an ad for Curves, the gym for women. Now the problem with that is I'm not a woman, okay? And the other problem is AdWords lets you exclude people based on gender. So Curves should be excluding all males from their ads. You'd be surprised at how, even though I'm not a woman and this ad is clearly a gym for women, you'd be surprised how many people click on ads for things that have no relevance to what they're searching for. So because you can't really trust people to only click on your ad if it's relevant to them, they're going to click on it even if it's not relevant. So you want to filter that out as much as possible. And you probably don't have an ad that caters only to men or women, but you can, if your business does better, like if most of your customers are women or most of them are men, you can adjust your campaign so that it's more tailored for one or the other. Or you could set up a separate campaign for men and a separate campaign for women if you have different promotions or different offers or different things about your business that would appeal differently to men and women. Another filtering option is age. So Google splits people's ages into these categories, and they let you exclude ages or they let you adjust bids depending on the age range people fall into. And you can see that actually a lot of these are unknown. Okay, the data Google has is not perfect, but it's getting better. Like I'm seeing a smaller and smaller percentage of unknown every day. So you want to make use of these age ranges. You can see for this client, the 35 to 44 age range is converting really well, 13% conversion rate, $43 cost per conversion. Compare that to the 55 to 64 age range. It's converting at a percentage less than half of that, and the cost per conversion is more than double. So you can use this information to either, let's say $104 per conversion actually is a really good conversion cost for you. You're going to make good money on that. Well, then you can adjust the bids for these other ages. You can bid more aggressively on those. Your cost per click will go up, but it'll bring your ad to a higher position. You'll get more traffic. Okay, if you can afford to pay more per conversion, then you can bid higher to get more traffic and get more conversions. Okay, but if $104 per conversion is bad, well, then you can adjust the bids for this age range. You can bid lower for them. That'll bring your ad further down the page. You'll get less traffic and fewer conversions, but that's how you can get your conversion cost to an amount that is acceptable for you. Another filtering option to be aware of is the location. So you are targeting your ad to different locations, right? And you can adjust your bids for different locations. You can exclude locations. Let's say you're targeting a big metro area and you want to exclude certain parts of that. You can absolutely do that. This option that I'm showing you is something I wanted to bring up specifically. If you go to your location options in your campaign settings, you go to the advanced option. The default option is going to be the top one, people in searching for or who show interest in my targeted location. And you can see Google recommends that. Now, if you select this top option, your ads are going to be potentially shown to people all over the world who may at some point have shown interest in the city that you are targeting. For whatever reason, Google might think they've shown interest in that city. Now they are going to target that person. If you have this top option selected in your campaign, you can see where your traffic is coming from. There's a tab in AdWords called the Dimensions tab. You go there, and then there's an option to look at user locations, and it'll tell you where people actually were located when your ad got triggered. And if you have this top option, I guarantee you're going to see your ads were shown to people all over the world. Okay, in countries you have no business advertising in, because you are supposed to just be serving your local area, right? So to prevent that, you want to select this middle option, people in my targeted location. That's going to ensure your ads are not shown outside of your area. Now, some businesses, for some businesses, you might want your ads to show outside of the area, right? If you're offering something that people would be traveling to your city for and they want to contact you ahead of time, obviously you'd want to target people outside of your area. If you are running like a senior living home and children are calling you to set up stuff for their parents, well, yeah, then you might want to target outside of your area. But for most of you, you want to keep this at people in my targeted location. Some other ways to filter are mobile versus tablet versus desktop. That example I showed you, Sam, with the cab company, we had tried some desktop ads for him, but we found that they didn't really work not nearly as well as mobile. So we've completely eliminated desktop for that campaign. All we are targeting for him are mobile ads. And if you don't want to completely exclude mobile or desktop like that, you at least want to be aware of the performance on each, and you can adjust your bids accordingly or set up separate campaigns for each one. You can also schedule your campaigns to run at certain hours. So the peak hours are what I call your business hours, when someone would be able to answer your phone. Off-peak hours would be when someone's not able to answer your phone. So some businesses just schedule their campaign to run during peak hours. What I recommend doing is setting up a second campaign that actually targets the off-peak hours as well, and you can bid less on the off-peak hours. Because this traffic is still going to be valuable to you. It just will not be as valuable because they won't be able to call you right away, right? So you want to be most aggressive during your peak hours and then cut down on traffic during off-peak hours, but don't eliminate it entirely. And then also with ad copy, you can exclude people in different ways. If you put a price in your ad, that will help if that price is too high for somebody, if they're just looking for a cheap service, then hopefully they won't click on your ad. You also saw the ad that I showed you for curves. They were using ad copy to try to exclude men. Their ad was all about women. But still, they should have just been filtering men. But that's another way you can use ad copy to filter who sees your ad and who doesn't. So to recap this section, Adam has a question real quick. He says, why lower during off-peak rather than completely eliminate? Seems like it should be either on or off. Well, Adam, so during off-peak, people are still going to contact you. They can either fill out your form or they will come back to your website later and call you. There just won't be as many people. There'll be a lower percentage of people who do that off-peak than on-peak. So that's why we don't want to eliminate that off-peak altogether. We want to keep running some ads off-peak to capture some business that comes after hours. So just to recap this section, by reducing or eliminating traffic from people who will never become your customers, you are able to invest more money on quality traffic and get more clicks from people who are ready to buy. Okay, so instead of getting 100 clicks and half of them would never become your customer, you can invest more to get 60 or 70 clicks from people who are hot target customers who are ready to work with you right away.